And we are live. Welcome to the Hot Topic Bonus. In preparation for the Marriage Breakthrough Retreat, I like to do some Hot Topic bonuses with things that come up as I am preparing for the retreat. And today's topic is release, surrender, and let go. And you know how it is? They tell you just have to release the need to control, or just surrender and everything will be okay, or let go and let God, which is one of my favorites. But how? Right? It's like, well, I sort of get that that's the ideal or what I'm supposed to be doing, but how do I do this? Or even better, easier said than done, right? It's like sort of too much expectations on ourselves, and then you beat yourself up for not surrendering or for not knowing how. So I want to tell you a little bit about um, how I had surrendered recently. um, I want to give you first an analogy. So the analogy goes like this. You know how you're trying to fix something on your computer because things are going slow and they keep getting stuck, and there's something going wonky with your computer. You don't know how to fix it. So you have this expert who is looking over your shoulder, and he's going to tell you what to do. And he starts telling you, okay, so go into the whatever settings, and he has to start explaining to you how to do that. Go to the Apple, click preferences, go into settings, blah, blah, blah. And it's just taking longer, and you're trying to like find your way in this world of tech that you may be very techy, but maybe this isn't your specialty. And it's going slow, but you're learning and you're getting there until you finally get so frustrated. You're like, okay, never mind. Here, you get up and you let them sit down at the computer, and like magic, seamlessly and quickly, they solve the problem because they know what they're doing and they know how to do it. So they don't have to explain it, they just need to do it. And so they're like doing this thing and it looks like magic to you, and you're like blown away by the speed, by the way it works. It's like, wow. And then it's fixed forever. It never again comes up and is stuck or is, slow. It's just done. The whole issue is gone. And I was thinking that is what we do. So you have those people in the, going to my analogy, the people who are on their slow and malfunctioning computer, and they're okay with it because it's not that bad. It's still working. Just because it's like annoying or slow or, fidgety. I'm used to it. I know how to work it, right? It's like, your stuff. Like my printer won't print unless you feed it the paper. So instead of going and getting a new printer, I'm just living with it because it's not important enough for me to really, go and take care of it. So you have those people, and that's fine. Most of the world is functioning that way, where it's not important until it's urgent. And once your computer actually crashes, or once something really does break down, then you're like, okay, we got to do something about this. And then you have the people who actually want to do something about this, but they're very DIY mentality, mindset type people. So it's like, yeah, you just tell me what to do and I'm sure I could figure it out, right? And so you'll follow tutorials on YouTube or on Google, and you'll look it up and you'll figure it out, and then you'll look up again another thing like, how do I go into my preferences and whatever it is, right? And they're very committed to growing and learning and getting to the goal, but it's taking time. And that time is being taken because they have decided to do it themselves, which is a very noble idea. And they're going to learn a lot along the way. But if speed and the issue is bothering them, then they're going to then turn to someone who actually knows. And the last group is the people who just gets it. It's like, I know I'm not going to do it right, or I might mess up on the way, or I don't know what I'm doing enough that I feel confident doing it myself. I'm just going to give it to the expert. And then in seconds, the whole thing is gone. Right. And then you're like, why did he charge so much? Well, because he knows what he's doing. Anyway, that's a side point. Um, I've been talking a lot about going from the okay marriage to breakthrough. Let's break through and actually get to the higher level of I don't need to be in this like low flame of like technical. Yeah, I talk to my husband when we have to figure out who's picking up the kids, or we actually have a conversation when we have to deal with an issue, right? It's like we're not actually intimately connecting and having those amazing deep conversations we used to. But then again, like it's life, right? That's what happens. You sort of just go with the flow and see what comes up. And so you're living with this like low grade pain thing that is annoying or frustrating or just like resentful making. I don't know. I just made up a sentence, but you get my point, right? And yeah, whatever. It's just, this is how it is. And I've been talking a lot about taking that marriage and making it amazing. You don't have to live in that technical, just like who's getting who and what's doing what. You can actually get to the next level where you are having a good time, laughing together, going on walks, or doing the things you love, or making time for yourself. You can talk about priorities and start prioritizing things in your life, in your marriage that used to, only happen when they were urgent. Things like that. That's really exciting. And my retreat did a really good job, the last two retreats did a really good job getting people to the next level. And in 7 days, they were just blown away by how much more happiness there was, the atmosphere in the home. Their husbands actually saw them growing, which was exciting for them because they didn't think that their husbands would notice that they're doing anything. All these things were amazing. And then recently I had this like aha moment where that is not only that is growth, but that's not the ideal. The ideal is for you to learn how to release, surrender, and let God take care of it so that you don't actually have to know how to fix it or what to press or what to do. You just let go. And I had this recently when my mother called me and said, I'm so excited. There's this really amazing thing. You're going to get to go to this event with my grandmother. And it's a once in a lifetime experience and you have to go. And by the way, it's on the 16th of November. And I was like, oh no, the 16th of November is the 7th day of my retreat. I can't move that. I can't miss that. I can't cancel that. Like I am so committed to my retreat. It's so in my schedule already from like months and months ago. And I felt really frustrated. And the most frustrating thing for me is that that was just the thing that broke the camel's back. There was two other things that were conflicting in my retreat schedule. One was a wedding that I really wanted to go to, but I surrendered to the fact that my husband will go and represent the two of us. And the other one was a class, a workshop that somebody is doing that I really wanted to go to. So I ended up finding a way to do the workshop afterwards. But at the time, I was so annoyed. I was like, what is God trying to tell me by sending all these conflicting things that are happening all at the same time and making me have to choose and prioritize? And I don't know what to do. And so I decided to just stop and let it go. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to figure out what God wants for me. And then I'm going to learn the lesson, right? Like that is. I try to, live what I preach. So I closed up my phone, closed up my computer, closed up everything. I went to sleep that night, knowing that I am going to allow whatever is to just come up and teach me. I am going into awareness mode, just discovering and being curious about what it is God is trying to teach me with all these conflicting timing things. And the next morning, my baby woke up at around 4:30 in the morning. And so I woke up, I went, I nursed, and then I was like, perfect timing to journal. Because if you know me, best time to journal is when there is quiet and everybody is sleeping. And And that's what I do every so often when I'm feeling that something is weighing me down. I sit down and I write. And I wrote and wrote and wrote. And I wrote why it is that I'm so annoyed, and why it is I want to go to this event, and why it is that I want to go to this wedding, and why it is that I want to go to this workshop, and what is it about the retreat that is stopping me. And since I'm my own boss, why can't I just decide to move the retreat? Because I committed to people and I want, I am 100% in this process. Like, if a woman is going to sign up to my retreat, I am here for her breakthrough. So I am not going to give up on that. But what can I do? Maybe I can move it, or move it forward, move it backwards, move the last day, just make another gap, or I don't know. I was trying to think all these things. And as I'm writing all these things, I wrote my final stuff, which was, you know what, God, why am I trying to break my head figuring out what to do and how to move it? Why don't I just let you show me what is supposed to happen? So here's the deal. If it needs to be moved, the retreat, you let me know, move the retreat. And if something else has to be, go move, whatever, disappear, you just show me. And I am going to be okay with anything. I just want to know. I wrote a little prayer in my journal at the end. I signed it. I closed the journal and went back to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning, put the kids to school, and I call my mother on the way home. And my mother says, "Oh, isn't it so funny? I spoke to my mother, your grandmother, and in the end, it's not happening. She doesn't want to go, so you are not going to have to go because she doesn't want to go." Anyway, the whole thing fell through. And I was just like, what? That quickly? It's almost like all I needed to do was just let the expert take over and figure it all out and fix it. Like, here I am trying to figure it out and writing for a whole hour, all the reasons why XYZ for this side and for that side, and, the positives and the negatives, and making lines along on my page, and which side is which. And as soon as I just let go and had this actual, conversation with God saying, I am letting you show me, it all just fell into place. The whole thing just like disappeared, evaporated into thin air. And I was a little shocked. And I thought, why am I shocked? Because, every time you let the expert take over your computer, he knows what he's doing and he's going to do it very quickly. But you're still fascinated every single time. It's just like, wow, you did it, right? It's like, so I was excited just for the fact that I was able to, tap into that, be okay with letting go and letting God. By the way, then I decided that the workshop had two options, the morning and the night option, and I ended up choosing the other one that wasn't conflicting with my schedule. And the wedding, I decided that, it is what it is and it's okay. So very quickly, all of that resentment and frustration and annoyance, and I was feeling conflicted, and it's like it eats you up inside because you're trying so hard to be good and to do all the right things, but you just don't know. It all disappeared, and it's all worked itself out and sort of fallen into place. And then I realized, yesterday we had guests and we were talking about something that brought this up again, that it really isn't about the actual physical thing that we are facing. It's not about the issue. It's about our transformation. It's about our ability to connect. And that is what I talk about in the retreat. And that is why I wanted to give you a little bit of a preview, or, a look inside into the back end of what's going on when I am designing a retreat like this, which is 7 days every day for 1 hour on Zoom live, where you actually get to ask questions and interact. And there's implementation calls and there's a workbook. There's like so much that went into this. I want you to know that I am exactly where I am and dealing exactly with the things that you're dealing with, just maybe on a different level. And I want to show you, I want to take you on this journey. So please sign up at connectedforreal.com/retreat. And I will put it here for you to copy and paste, or you can go to the link below, ConnectedForReal.com/retreat. And all you need to do is put in your name and your email address. You're going to be sent an email with all of the information. You're going to get the workbook. It's a workbook that has a page for each day. I made sure to make it very, very printer friendly, so you will not be like, oh, I don't want to print it. You will print it, because this workbook will become your go-to $1 million workbook that will help you stay grounded forever from now on. So you're not going to just be like, whatever. You're going to print that thing and you're going to fill it out and you're going to follow through, because this is your life and your marriage and your business. And you're here to learn and grow and succeed, not just suffer through this like low grade, I'm not okay with okay anymore. And I don't want you to be okay with okay either. I want you to have a breakthrough and to have an amazing marriage, a successful business, and for the two of them to be aligned with God's purpose for you. So please join me at ConnectedForReal.com/retreat for the retreat. Share this with your friends. Make sure they sign up too, because this is going to be transformational. And I look forward to it. All the